Good child so far. Very chill. She likes to be like right up here.
Aww.
And like I guess she was trying to get past my arm and I wasn't moving and she went, meow. Oh, all right, my bad. My bad. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry, sweetheart. So far she's been very chill. When we went to get her, my son actually noticed her first and she was more chill than her other two, her brother and sister. And she just like stuck a little face up in his face and I went, alright, well we have to get this cat now. We have to. So that's how little Machismo came into my life.
Machismo? Why Machismo?
Little Machismo, our Razor Ramon.
Oh, that's precious.
Yeah. Or HBK, the Heartbreak Kitty.
I like that too. That was a good opening. You telling me about the cat.
I don't know if I want people knowing that I'm like nice.
Oh, too bad. It's on camera now.
Character.
And I edit, so I am going to do whatever I want.
Okay, fair enough.
So there you go. Hi everybody, welcome back to the brand new segment of Tea and Crafts with Paris. Our first guest decided to get sick, accidentally on purpose. Boy, you need to stop licking those things. But I had a great stand-in. My former co-commentator, but always in my heart, Eric Cole.
Hi, everybody's second choice. How are you?
Oh.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Coupon choice, but still. Alright, so I have brought Eric on because we don't know him from the wrestling community, but he is a very funny, accomplished comedian. And I want to know about the origins of why he became this.
My therapist and I are trying to figure that out too.
When did you decide you wanted to be a comedian? Was it before or after you dropped out of high school?
First of all, I never dropped out of high school. I don't know where you got that information from. I dropped out of college.
Oh!
Yes.
Might have been the fanfic.
Dropped out.
Anyway, what? Never mind. Anyway.
Oh, man.
So who inspired you to be a comedian, sir?
Who inspired me to be a comedian? That's a good question. George Carlin. George Carlin was an inspiration. Jerry Seinfeld. Adam Sandler. Jim Carrey. Jerry Lewis.
Yeah, Jerry Lewis.
The Marx Brothers. Yeah, there's all different types of Matthew Perry.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, there were a few influences in my comedy, and it was one of the, it was I realized I was funny at a young age. It was probably a more defense mechanism than anything else.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna pick on the kid who makes them laugh. And although that didn't always work out.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
You grew up in New York, correct?
Brooklyn, New York, to be exact. Yes.
What's that like?
It was interesting. To be exact, yes.
What's that like?
It was interesting. Tumultuous, I'd say. I mean, it was fun. I learned a lot, and they say if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And yeah, it's the home of so many different, like the Beastie Boys. I mean, it was fun. I learned a lot, and they say if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And yeah, it's the home of so many different, like the Beastie Boys, and Tupac was born in Brooklyn. Yeah, Michael Jordan, people don't know that, was born in Brooklyn. Well, I'm sure some people know that, and probably.
I didn't.
Well, I'm sure a lot of nerds watching this. I'm sorry, I don't know why I called you random people nerds. You're very nice to watch this. Thank you for the views. Although I do feel like I'm sitting in a nerd's wet dream in this room. Like, we got the Winter Soldier naked behind Captain America's shield. There's whatever this is.
The best one is sitting right behind him.
Yeah. Naked man covered in feathers, which the camera can't see, but it's behind me. Looks like a 13-year-old boy threw up in this room. But who am I to judge? I have a Razor Ramon tattoo on my arm, so I'm not one to cast aspersions.
Where was your first comedy special stand-up group?
Actually, it was in Manhattan. I entered an ad to host an improv show. I don't remember the name of the place now, because it was, oh man, this is 20 years ago, almost. But yeah, I showed up for that. I did a couple of shows, and then when I realized I wasn't getting paid for the shows, I stopped because I wasn't in a position to take weekend nights off from work and not make money.
I know what you mean on that.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was a fun experience. I'm glad I did it. And then I really got into comedy when I moved here to Idaho. I joined up with an improv group named Insert Foot Theater, and the rest, as they say, is history. 14 years later, I'm still telling jokes for a minimal amount of money, so I made it, Ma. I did it.
I can tell she's proud of you.
Yes.
Don't ask me how, I just know.
Sure.
So what brought you to Idaho?
My grandparents.
Really?
Yeah, they relocated, and I was 24 and found myself kind of directionless. So I thought, let's go see them for a little while and then plan the next move. What are we doing? We're painting?
You're painting a flag of whatever you want.
Painting a flag of whatever I want.
Yes.
All right, we'll see.
Right. Do you have a place where you want to do comedy really bad? What's your dream venue?
Madison Square Garden.
Really?
Yeah, I would love to do comedy at Madison Square Garden. The mecca of entertainment. Yeah, that'd be fun. That would be. I don't know. I feel like I'm not being very interesting on this, and people are gonna watch this and they're gonna go, "Why would she pick this guy to be on the show?" Such a boring. He's a comedian. He hasn't said one funny thing this whole time.
Okay. I mean, we can tell jokes. Would that make you feel better?
No, not for free. I made an NWO flag.
I love it.
The New World Order. Isn't it terrible? Look how terrible.
No, it's beautiful.
Speaking of Valentine's Day, come down to the High Note Cafe in downtown Boise on February 14th and watch a Valentine's Day comedy show with your host, Eric Cole, featuring the talents of Tyson Gussman and Jasmine Rogers, two very funny comedians. Yeah. Tickets on Eventbrite. Shameless self-promotion. That's why I'm here. Shameless self-promotion.
Nothing wrong with that. How much are the tickets?
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is where it is. Fine, you know what? I'll check.
Good.
I'll check right now.
This is what happens when you come unprepared.
Because that's what people want to watch. People want to watch me look through my phone.
I was attempting to make a teacup.
$15.
This just looks like not a teacup.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
Okay, well, if it wants to look demonic, let's just complete the trifecta. It's your time. Come on, grab your friend. Whether they like it or not, it doesn't matter in the end.
You realize this is gonna lose you followers, right?
Are you sure about that?
This is gonna lose you followers. This show, this episode of Tea and Crafts with Paris.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm not.
So you're just making a baseless assumption?
I like to make baseless assumptions.
You can tell.
That's how I live my life. I don't know what to paint.
What would make your son smile?
I should know the answer to this.
You should! He's pulled out his phone again. What is your favorite joke?
My favorite joke. All right. Well, the first one that comes to mind is a George Carlin joke.
You love me some George Carlin.
She was only a prostitute, but she had the nicest face I ever came across.
Okay, my turn. I'll tell you a joke. What does The Sixth Sense and Titanic have in common?
What do The Sixth Sense and Titanic have in common?
Yes.
I don't know.
I see dead people.
I see dead people. I get it. Okay. All right.
Yay!
Okay. All right.
Word association.
I see dead people.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
My will to live.
My will to live who?
Oh, wait, I just laughed. Sorry. I feel like I'm going to get some DMs after this. Just, hey, you doing okay?
Well, I mean, we could always just start over and erase all of this from memory.
Where's the fun in that?
That's fair.
Right, in Paris, I am now in my unhinged era.
Oh, okay.
Because it'll be fun.
What put you in your unhinged era? Let's find out who Paris is. Who is Paris?
Who's the host? We're not talking about me. We're talking about you.
All right. Well, you're the one who brought up being in your unhinged era. So I'm just trying to,
One day when they write a biography about me, they'll find this flag I'm making and go, wow. What the hell is wrong with her? I'll show you at the end.
So many things.
Oh, wow. How friend you are.
Hey, you invited.
Reassurance is not your skills on your skill tree.
Listen, I spend all day reassuring sensitive people. I don't have the energy while I'm trying to paint a ridiculous thing that's not going to look good.
That's fair. Okay, so besides One Piece, do you watch any other anime?
We watched a little bit of My Hero Academia, and we started watching Demon Slayer. But he's already seen all of Demon Slayer, so he was like, "I want you to watch it, Dad." Okay. And then Naruto. Been watching
Classic.
Naruto.
I watched 3 episodes of that and never watched it again.
No?
Nah.
Couldn't get into it?
Naruto annoyed me. Naruto was those annoying little children that the parents never disciplined on the playground that would always run around and scream and then, push you off the slide.
Well, you should probably watch more of it then because they kind of whip him into shape a little bit. He gets better as the series goes on.
It's just
He's just a child.
That's not an excuse.
He's a fake Japanese child.
Exactly, it's worse.
Who wants to be the next Hokage.
My brain just translated that to something way different.
Wow.
Great episode.
This is not good.
Yes, it
This
is.
is not a good thing that I made.
Yes, it is. It's beautiful.
This is not a good thing.
It is character. It has character. Luffy would be proud of you.
Would he? I don't know.
Yes,
I think
he would.
I think he would just want something to eat.
He would be proud of you and he would yell at you and say, "Shut up, Eric. Now you're part of the crew because I take in all the strays."
I'm a stray now? That's what. Wow.
We're all
I
strays.
come on the show to be insulted?
Why else would you come on this show?
I don't know. I thought I was doing someone a favor.
You are, and I'm happy you're here. I haven't had people come up and say that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they keep asking when I'm going to come back.
Oh, nice. Well, people miss you. Not me, but people.
Not at all.
No. Not even a little bit.
Oh.
I've been flying solo, and it's been amazing.
Ah, yeah, I noticed last time.
I'm very good at it.
Is that why JoJo yelled at you that you're fired?
Who yelled at me?
JoJo yelled you're fired, bring back Paris.
Who's JoJo?
Oh, the one that's in a beef with a grown man. Chuck Yeager.
Oh, the little one?
Yep.
That little girl? Oh, she's so cute. I love that kid.
I love her too.
I love that kid. She shows up, she makes signs.
Yes.
She gets really into it. It's like, it's everything you love about professional wrestling and what it brings out of people. Yeah, she's such a passionate little girl who like stares daggers through me, and I love every minute of it. She does not like me, and it's amazing.
Yes, honestly, one of my favorite things about doing that was getting the kids riled up.
Mm-hmm.
That was my ultimate favorite thing. I do miss it a little bit, a lot of it.
Because kids are, little kids especially, have the most undeserved confidence.
Yes.
Of anybody. Like they will straight up get in a wrestler's face. Like, I can beat you. Like, what? I'm twice your size, and I outweigh you by 300 pounds. Like, who do you think you are?
Oh,
But that's what you love. You love to. I love getting that we can get those reactions out of these kids, and that they look at us and go, I don't like this guy. I want to hit him. Like, yeah, good.
Listen, I've read Lord of the Flies. Kids scare the shit out of me.
Terrible.
It's not freaking terrible. Shut the hell up.
Terrible.
Oh my god.
This is even worse. This one's even worse. You can't even tell what that is. You can't even tell what that is.
Bro.
This is why I create with words and not with paintings. That at least is something. Like, this is.
Do you know what this is?
That's what's his name from Adventure Time.
This is a cry for help.
This whole episode is a cry for help. I think this whole thing. The last month and a half of my life has been a cry for help.
Yes.
Keep coming out. Keep coming to shows.
Yes.
Support local things, because everything's on fire, and it's terrible.
Yes.
So you need people like me to say ridiculous nonsense and hope you laugh at it.
Yes, or you're going to have more of these types of things floating around from people like me.
Sounded vaguely threatening. Or else you're going to get more of these. Are you threatening your audience, Paris? That was happening. You're threatening your audience? That's not nice and unbecoming of someone drinking tea.
Unbecoming.
That's right. I know words.
We're pulling out the fancy words.
Yeah.
The thesaurus in my absence.
No, I know a couple of $50 words. Disassociate.
Oh, I do that every day.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
My life.
I also liked the movie The Master of Disguise, and nobody agrees with me on that. Even though Dana Carvey playing silly characters for an hour and a half is amazing, but nobody agrees.
I do.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
It's such a good movie.
It's so
such
dumb,
a good movie.
but it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's not a good movie, but it's a great movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's. Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club? It's so good. So good. That you can joke about whatever you want as long as it's funny. It just has to be funny, clever, and like don't be mean just for the sake of being mean. Like you can joke about whatever you want, just be clever about it. That's my thing.
There was a comedy rule when I was watching the YouTuber where I got my last name Duranio from. And he made a comment, and correct me if I'm wrong or if you agree with this. When you're writing comedy, write it down. If it doesn't make you laugh, it's not going to make the audience laugh.
That's how I look at it. Yeah, I know if I think it's funny, there's a good chance other people will think it's funny. And and that's another big thing is you have to believe in your material. Like if you get up on stage and you're telling jokes that you don't believe in, nobody's gonna laugh and you're gonna bomb. You can't please everybody, but I always try to. I feel like I like to try and make sure that I can catch everybody everybody in the audience with something. Maybe you don't like this joke, but you'll like this one. If this isn't for you, I've got this one in the chamber. And I like to kind of keep it loosey-goosey. Like, I know some comics will go in and they have, they want to this, and this. They've got a list. They write their jokes out. Like, this is what I'm going to tell. This is what I'm going to do next, this and this. And I don't operate like that. Comedy is very, look at me. Look what I'm doing. Isn't this hilarious what I'm doing over here? But I also don't really like people, which is interesting. Like, I want them to like me, but I don't. I'm just not a fan of people in general. Like, a person, people one-on-one, that's fine. It's when people start hanging out in groups that I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if this is for me. Except for the audiences at my shows. You're all beautiful, wonderful people. Like, I get more comedy advice from people who don't do comedy than I have ever gotten from comedians. I'm just like, I don't need you to tell me how I'm going to improve my little skits. Like, you don't need to give me that information. You can just tell me that you thought I did good. And if you didn't think I did good, keep it moving. Don't tell me. I don't need to know that the guy before me was better or the gal after me was better. Like, I don't care. Don't bother me after the show.
Like, we know you think you're being constructive criticism. We know you think you're being helpful, but you're really just coming off as kind of asshole-ish, and you need to shut up and stay in your lane.
Yep.
Pretty much?
Yeah.
There you go. You're welcome.
But, that's also why we get heckled as comedians. Like, nobody heckles Shakespeare in the Park. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's sitting down watching going, don't drink the poison, stupid. Like, nobody's doing that. But was Romeo and Juliet, right? Like, he's just sleeping. Give her a minute, she'll wake up. Like, nobody does that, right? Because they know they're watching a performance, they're watching a show.
Yes.
But when you're good at comedy, we make it look easy. And so every jackass with a couple drinks in him thinks that they can do what we do, and that's why they start heckling. Or they don't like how hard their girlfriend is laughing at my jokes, and so they want to flex that they're, like, it's not necessary. Like, we make it look easy because we practice. Like, this isn't, when you see me telling jokes at a show, rest assured it's not the first time I've told those jokes. I'm not practicing. I'm not rehearsing in front of a live audience. Like, that's what open mics are for. And that's what me sitting alone in my room writing jokes is about. Like, I don't need you to, I'm just making the show better. No, you're not. Stop heckling. If anybody takes anything away from this, stop heckling. We don't like it, and we don't like you. Let's be clear. It's not always men.
This is E for everyone.
Women are some of the most entitled audience members ever, especially the attractive ones, because they don't get told no a lot.
Yeah.
So when you shut when you have to shut somebody down, it's, and not only are they embarrassed, but they don't know how to handle it because they've never had anybody tell them no before.
So any new comedians out there, what advice would you have for them to either shut down a heckler or cope with having to deal with that?
It's that just comes with experience. It comes with time. It's a fine line to walk too, because if you could lose the audience if you're too mean to a heckler.
Really?
Yeah, like it's funny to a point, and then people go, oh no, now he's just being mean, and then they can turn on you. Everybody wants to be in on the joke, but also they don't want you to, like, because if we, like, I've seen it happen with comics where they get a bad response or somebody shouts something out, and then it destroys their whole set. Like, they just go off on a tangent, yelling and cursing, and it doesn't do anything fun for anybody. So it's a fine line to walk between, like, like one, but that again, I can't really give anybody advice other than just it comes with repetition And the more you do it, the easier it becomes to roll with the punches. It can throw some people off, especially if they're new and they haven't dealt with that. So yeah, just keep doing it. Keep trying. You could always just not mention it. You know, like you don't have to engage with a heckler. You can just let them. You can kind of just go, all right, that's enough, and then move on. But that, again, that comes with repetition and practice, and you'll get better at it the longer you do it. Stick with it, essentially, especially if you're funny. If you're not funny, go home and don't come back. But if you're funny, stick it out, and it'll get easier to deal with heckling.
What's some tips to stay out of the delusion land that you are funny when you're not funny? That's tough. That one requires a lot of self-awareness that some people just don't have. There's a lot of people who, like the funny guy at the office, or, they're the funny one in their family, but it doesn't necessarily translate to the stage. And I think it just is a matter of, again, self-awareness. Like if you do 5 shows in a row and you get no laughs at any of them, you might want to rethink what you're doing, or work on improving. Like, don't just keep telling the same jokes that aren't working. Switch it up, figure something else out, develop something different. So my goal is always to make you laugh, because if you're laughing, you like me. You may not remember afterwards. I've got a very generic face. I like to call it generic white guy face. I kind of remind you of a cousin, or like somebody you've seen on TV playing a character named like Dominic or Turtle. I was gonna say Benny.
Benny, Vito, anyway. So I have a compulsion to be liked, and I like to make people laugh, and that's the way to do it. Other people are trying to work out, they didn't get hugged enough, or none of us are well adjusted, and that's why so many comedians, we suffer from depression, and we drink, and we can't hold relationships. Like, it's not all of us. And I don't want to just cast a blanket on the whole profession, because there are some who seem to not have those same pitfalls. I don't like to be the one to say, you're not funny, go home, because I don't know why you're doing it. I don't know why you picked up a microphone in the first place. So I don't want to, I try to be as nice as I can to people, unless you're a jackass to me, in which case you can go F yourself. But I don't know. I try to put out the energy that I want to get back.
So,
yep.
If there's any young comedians in the Valley, would it be okay for them to reach out to you for like advice, mentorship, or anything?
Yeah, absolutely. You can. I'm on all the social media things. At It's Eric Cole on X and TikTok, which is probably going to be going away. So I don't know. I hear that it's going to be banned
tomorrow.
Whatever.
Like it'll still be there. You just can't download it anymore. So
you can find me on Facebook, Instagram at Eric Cole Comedy. Follow my the Voice of Wrestle Club page on Facebook. I feel like a lot of people are moving away from that platform too for other reasons, because Zuckerberg is a jackass.
Robot lizard man.
Yeah, but no, if you have any questions, I'm always available to try and help. I might not be able to, but can always reach out.
But he's there for you.
Now, I'll never be a dick first. You'll have to, you know what I mean? Like, and you don't want to do that, because I'm better at it than you are.
Truth. I've tried to get some zingers on him, and he just like batted me off like a little wasp.
Yep.
He's like,
felt more like a mosquito coming at me than anything else. Like, oh, that's.
You're like, haha.
Yeah. Well.
Then you countered and hurt my feelings. So.
You can't take the heat. Don't light the fire. That's.
Yep. It's okay. It motivated me to try and get better.
Okay. And you did.
I did. Anyway, thank you for coming to the first ever Tea and Crafts with Paris with the very funny local comedian Eric Cole.
Again, you can catch me on Valentine's Day, February 14th, Friday night at 8 p.m. at the High Note Cafe. Ticket link at Eventbrite, or you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram at Eric Cole Comedy. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for showing up on such short notice.
Yeah.
Thanks for painting. Until next time, it'll be craft time with Paris.
Oh, Bucky.
So what are you laughing at? Is it perhaps that up there? Only best Marvel husbando.
What's that?
Only best Marvel husband.
Yep.